So I have one side of the cowl drilled out, ready for spot welds. I just kind of eyeball it with about every 1.5 inches or so. Use my little vise that I just picked up from Eastwood. Just a little 3-inch vise. It's like in the clearance section for $10. So it actually really made it quite easy to do those spot welds. So it's a cool little thing. It just clamps onto like a 2x4 and then can hold this nice and tight, which is also good because this one, we flip around up here. As you can see right here, this has already come off. So I'm gonna end up welding that with just a tack really quick. There it is. So I'm just gonna clamp that together and throw a tack on there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and seam seal all through here because it's not exactly all that great. So I'm gonna seam seal that side, and then I am gonna seam seal the entire top like I previously mentioned. So I never want to do this again, and never want anybody else to have to do this again because this sucks. So yeah, I'll go grab the welder and probably just throw a tack on here really quick to get that at least somewhat in place, and then I will be going back and throwing that on the car and hopefully get that this guy at least welded in tonight. That's the plan. I would really want to get all this welded in tonight, but given the fact that the sun's going down, I may or may not. At the very least, I will seam seal tonight so I can have a day or two to set up, and then tomorrow I can just tack everything in and hopefully then paint it all and go from there. So this next day here, we're about to go ahead and weld up the driver's side cowl. You can see I added 2 little self tappers, one here, one there. That sucked everything nice and tight. I got a nice flat edge now. It's all been what is that, weld through primer. It's the Eastwood stuff all the way along, not in the middle. There's just kind of some overspray. Got a ton of clamps, 2 over there, 2 right here, keep everything nice and tight. When I come in and weld this corner, I'm going to bring another clamp down. Actually, I have another clamp in the trunk. Let's bring that down now. Just trying to keep everything out of the way so I can weld. Looks like I'll be fighting the rain today, so just got home from church. I'm gonna try and get some of this stuff down and in there. Tighten this guy up. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this guy up, get this bottom corner clamped down, and then go ahead and throw some welds down. I went about every 1.5 inches or so. I just kind of eyeballed it. I didn't measure this time around. Yeah, so my plan is kind of just throw a few welds and the plug welds, kind of work my way around, and then I'm going to go ahead and weld 2. That's an overlapping weld here on the side, just to make it more structural. I'm not a welder by any means, didn't know how until started this project, so for me, I'd rather throw down a couple extra, make sure it's nice and strong, especially considering how structural all this is. But yeah, use those 2 self tappers, especially this one right here. It sucked everything nice and tight. I was able to clamp everything down, and now you can see there's no gap in through here at all. Everything is really nice feeling, so really happy with that. After I weld everything in, rain permitting, I am going to go in, not weld this edge, and I'm going to have to, push down, probably throw a self tapper or 2 in there to weld all that nice and flat and seam seal all of that. My plan is to seam seal it, may even add potentially another little piece of metal to make that not as harsh if I can't grind that down and make it for where the water is running more confidently away from the cowl. And once I do get this replaced, I am gonna put that cowl cover probably on Monday. Today's Sunday, so probably tomorrow I'll buy that cowl cover protector, and I'm gonna have that on there pretty much all times unless I'm driving, since my car's gonna be living outside, just to hopefully prevent anything even getting in there, and because I don't have the fresh air vents hooked up or anything, I still do have them down in there. I'm not too worried about having that cowl covered or not covered. So When I get to some welding, I'll get back to you guys afterwards so y'all can tell me what I'm doing wrong with my welds, I'm sure, because I'm not great at it. So yeah, drop some tips and tricks below, even though this is probably like one of the last few things that we'll be welding on this car. But always take any suggestions, let me know. I'm just using my little Harbor Freight Flex Core 110, and I've done the whole car with it and had very little issues. So let's get to it. So as promised, here is the cowl once it's all welded in. I didn't slag any of those or even brush them or anything yet, as you can see. So between them all, I think they're all going to hold. Also going to take off all the clamps and everything. I always kind of check it by standing on it. Usually I pull it. This one's kind of hard to pull, but I mean, nothing is going on there. So I plug welded about every 1.5 inches or so. I just eyeballed it. Then I went back in and did a whole bunch of these like kind of overlapping welds in between as well. And then all along here, I'm seam sealing through here. I was able to fill that with weld, but I'd rather seam seal right in there. All through here is pretty good. All the way up in here. And this side's good. So yeah, I definitely do my plug welds too large. So I was having a hard time filling them. And then I I did throw down and threw tacks. Some tacks over here just to keep it kind of in place. There's my 3 self-tappers. But as you can see from this side, we have a really good angle with how the way everything's falling. So I think if I put a little bit of seam sealer on there, it'll really help flow and everything will be perfect. Yeah, just to show you guys about my welds, because a lot of times I just don't know, to be honest. What I like to do is I usually will stand on them. And then, so stand on them, kind of jump. Usually do is a kind of kick on them. Not enough to bend the metal or anything, but to try and loosen everything. See if I hear any cracking, feel any cracking. Only thing I'm feeling is this collar is already kind of separated from the bottom portion. Yeah, I can feel up on this like threaded insert there that's not touching anymore. So, but usually I can push and pull the whole car, as you can see, just by getting rid of everything I got. The whole car is moving, so that gives me confidence in those welds. Say they're good. So yeah, I think this side's done, welded in. I need to hit it now with the brush. Make sure not to have those out. So hit with the brush, vacuum, and then go ahead. I'm just gonna throw some more primer on all the welds and everything. And then I'll go drill up the spot welds for that side, bring it back into place, kind of fit it up, make sure everything's good to go there, and throw it on in. So you can see maybe on the hood we have a few sprinkles coming in, so I'm going to put the phone down and really try and hammer through this and make some good progress before I am stopped for the day with the rain. So we got everything welded in and seam sealed up on this side. The weather decided to actually cooperate. Still got about 30% chance of rain, so yeah, everything is nice and ready to go. Seam sealed up, went up around those a couple times. Okay, so I got the cowl on and fit up, test fit, plug welds, everything drilled out. Nothing's welded in yet. It's just set in there, but man, it's such a freaking tight fit. Body lines looking pretty good, you can see there. So using this as a straight line, it is slightly out. You can see on the front It's just my license plate. Actually, license plate might be a little bent right there. So that's as close as I think I'm gonna be able to get it, especially because these are all aftermarket parts. Front is looking, or this middle line looks really good all the way through. And then this left side as well. Actually looks a little bit better. I feel like when I placed it on there. So this license plate isn't exactly straight as you can see, but you can kind of get an idea that it's all really close. There is one issue, and that is, well, the gaps look pretty freaking good all the way around, which that's just pure luck. I didn't do anything for that. You can see the cowl is a little bit taller. So let me, everyone's gonna stick with me here at this dyslexia, or I'm about to flip the camera, so probably upside down so you guys can see it. So, all right, I'll do it slow to the side on my phone. So you can see that cowl does go down, but it doesn't quite hit the body line until I go down like that. You can see the play there. So it is off. I think it'll raise when I have the export brace on. Right now I just have it not screwed on. I'm hoping that'll raise it just a little bit. Or I might be able to raise the hood up in the center. Really, it seems like this point right here is actually a little high. Like the hood itself is high on this side. It needs to go down just a little bit. And then all through here, not where the hinges are, that all feels nice and straight across. So, same over here. This corner feels a little high right here in this body line. Feels like it needs to go down just a little bit. But the rest of it feels nice and smooth right across. The cowl is maybe slightly taller, right around in, yeah, kind of right around in here. So if I could bring this center section of the hood up just that little bit, it would be like almost perfect. You can see the seam sealer if you get way down in there, you can, but for the most part it's just all black, which is nice. Really excited how that turned out. And then you can see we have a pretty good line all the way across. So I should be able to just hammer and dolly, get all that nice and straight for the windshield gasket. And it's going to be so close that I think the windshield gasket will make up for any of those disparities. Alright, so it's all in, it's all welded up. I forgot a couple plug welds over here I need to weld up. I'm taking a couple self-tappers. I am going to seam seal in and around. I got a little overzealous there, so I'm going to have to weld a piece of metal in there and seam seal it, and it's just going to be ugly. Just is what it is. Too late now. I hope this helps other people who decided to kind of do what I did, which was to cut everything out and then keep that frame. Well, I left that middle portion from about 3 grates over on both sides. I left all that in, spliced all that, but hopefully this helps you keep your fender apron support, I guess that's what that's called. And cut it all out, bend it up out of the way, and then re-weld it. As you can see, I got tons of welds in here, stitch welded all in, jacked the car up and down, nothing happened, so I think it's okay as is. We'll find out one day when I drive and the car falls apart. Yes, this could be a different alternative for other people when they do it themselves. It is off a little bit, and I can tell you, I can show you that. The reason I know it's off just slightly is I can't get my phone up in there. The holes for my Monte Carlo bar. See, nope, actually, it might not be off. It came out of the thing. All right, there's a lot of adjustment in this Monte Carlo bar, but from where it was to where it is definitely off, just very, very slowly. So I'm just gonna take my step drill bit drill a little stuff out, get everything good to go. Tonight I do want to finish up by painting the dash. I gotta check the weather because I did want to epoxy prime all the bare metal in the car, but I don't think it's gonna happen with the rain that is likely to come. So that is all. I hope this helps anybody out. I'm sure there's things I did wrong, 100%. I'm sure in my mind it all works and makes sense, so it's fine. Now, if I had a shop and a garage, I would have rather taken the time to take more of the car apart in order to complete this, but I don't. I'm just working with what I got. So I think this is a really good way to do this if you're just going to have a good quality driving car versus a show car. So, but thanks guys, and I'll get back to you on the next one. As always, leave any suggestions, comments, anything you may have. I had one suggestion when I asked about the sound deadener, about going to a transmission tunnel, which inside is where I store all my tools, and they said absolutely do it, and he recommended even doing the doors. To your comment, I did do the doors and the door skins, the complete outer door skin, and then I also added like the heavy duty foam when I did the door skin to the door support. That way it hopefully won't, you know, when it vibrates back and forth on the door, it won't be annoying and, you know, create just rattles. Hoping so. I have driven the car with those doors one time and it was fine, so hoping it stays that way. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody watching the videos and, you know, leaving your comments and stuff. I'm always down to help out. I know I don't do everything by the book for sure. I think I do a pretty decent job, but maybe different ways of thinking about stuff. If this was a, you know, a SEMA car or something, I would, you know, I'd be doing there. I would definitely do it a little bit different, and I definitely would have been, you know, taking a lot of this more so apart. But I think it's going to be a really good driver, and for my application, I'm really happy with it. It's the first time I'm doing this and learning it all, so if you guys, you know, see some glaring obvious issues, let me know. I have gone back and done a couple other videos where somebody's talking about some of the welds and stuff. I've talked to some people who know how to weld, and they, you know, were talking to me about jumping on it, pulling on it, everything like that to make sure it all seems safe. And based on the pictures and videos I sent them, they said it should be fine. So that gave me a little bit more confidence. Hopefully next video I will be epoxy priming everything. And I'm not going to video painting the dash because that's just going to be vacuuming and spraying some black on it. So I don't think that warrants a video. I do need to epoxy prime the whole car. And then I need to do a frame repair on this passenger side. So what I'm going to do is cut it out. I grind it back way over here just to see where it was good metal to work from. So the plan is just to get some 16 gauge or 18 gauge, something kind of heavier than this, and cut something out, weld it in over here, weld it into here, do the same thing on the bottom. And on the other side, I'm hoping I can find maybe some type of man, what's that stuff called? I can't think of it. It's the steel that comes like in a box. Square tube. There it is, square tube. I'm hoping I can find some pretty large square tube, and I can either just slide that whole thing in there, or like maybe 3-sided square tube, because I'd rather have some bends in the metal versus multiple weld points, because you know, I think that's going to be stronger. I do have fender aprons, but the fender apron itself isn't bad. For the battery tray itself is bad, but that's like a $16 thing, I think, when I looked it up last. So I'll go ahead and get the fender or the battery tray and replace that as well. Radiator support probably should be replaced. If it was a show car, not just a driver, I would replace it, just because you have some rust and stuff peeking in over here, but still holds, still strong and solid for now for a driver, so I'm just going to leave it. And that's the future plans. So thanks guys for watching. Sorry for rambling on there at the end, but you know, any suggestions, comments, let me know. Okay guys, so we posted up videos of what happened when we poured the water. Turns out it is not the spot that I thought it was. It is right in this left corner. So the water is going. You can watch it go back underneath the lower cowl right there and into the car. So we're gonna be seam sealing that up. And you can see it comes right down into that corner. So we're gonna be seam sealing that up, and there's a little bit more up in that corner that I can get. It looks like people drilled some holes there in the past. And then I'm also going to seam seal, try to get a camera angle, that right there as well. While we don't have any water or anything, we're just gonna go ahead and seam seal on that side. We're gonna check the driver's side because there was water this morning. Doesn't really make sense because it's been fine. So I'm thinking it might have just came in because we don't really have a dashboard or anything, or blown in from the window. So, all right, you ready for the driver's side? All right, let me. All right, you ready? It'll be on the driver's side. Oh. I see a whole bunch coming out up here.
Nothing.
Nothing down there? No. Woohoo! Yeah! That's where it's supposed to go.
Right.
I'm gonna do the passenger side real quick, 1 second. Okay, ready for the passenger side?
Yeah.
Alright, so you'll see it, like, obvious, because there's a ton of water.
Nothing.
So it's
wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
leaking.
Yeah, right here.
Where at? Oh, so it's coming in through the heater core. Well, damn. Okay, well, I'll have to look and see from the bottom why it's coming in through there. It shouldn't be coming in there at all, this thing. Well, I mean, it has a whole blender bottle full, but... Huh, I wonder... Well, the car's also sitting... like...
I mean, regardless, right?
What?
Regardless.
Well, if it's sitting like that, though... You know what I mean? Because that side ran. It actually looks pretty even, though, to be honest. So, the car. Alright, so we got a leak.
It was a lot that came in here, though.
It was a lot?
It wasn't just dripping, it was like...
Okay. Yes, on the passenger side.
Alright, ready?
Yep. Oh. I hear it. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot. So it's coming from the heater core. Which means it's that collar up here. Oh, what is this? No. Okay. And I think it's coming from the heater core. Alright. Well, I thought we fixed it, and well, we didn't, so. Okay. That is gonna be a not tonight problem. Okay guys, so we posted up videos of what happened when we poured the water. Turns out it is not the spot that I thought it was. It is right in this left corner. So the water is going. You can watch it go back underneath the lower cowl right there and into the car. So we're gonna be seam sealing that up. And you can see it comes right down into that corner. So we're gonna be seam sealing that up, and there's a little bit more up in that corner that I can get. It looks like people drilled some holes there in the past. And then I'm also going to seam seal, try to get a camera angle, that right there as well. While we don't have any water or anything, we're just gonna go ahead and seam seal on that side. We're gonna check the driver's side because there was water this morning. It doesn't really make sense because it's been fine. So I'm thinking it might have just came in because we don't really have a dashboard or anything, or blown in from the window. So, all right, you ready for the driver's side? All right.